me to go faster. Um, how I can do it to make it better for you all, because I really, really, really want this to be something that's going to be useful for you guys. That worries me when I only see 13 people on here. I'm hoping that a lot of them are watching it on YouTube, but on there I can see the number of views too, and those views aren't very high either. Because odds are we're probably going to be doing this the rest of the year, and I really need to know ways that would make it better. A couple things I want to talk to you guys about from Google Classroom right here. And I think what I'll do, okay, I know I'm jumping around. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. I'm kind of high on being freaked out about this not working. So pretend like I just walked out of the room, came back in. Hello, my name is Pam Fouché, and I'm here today to share with you precalculus. Before we start class, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I'm going to put on here a Google form where you can share any ideas you have of ways that would make this go better for you or for other people. And that will be later on today or tomorrow. Down here, I know some of y'all have heard of Discord. This is my Discord. If you all want to go to that and be invited to that, because that's a super easy way for us just to talk back and forth. If you have a homework problem, we can just jump on a channel and I can show you kind of like what I'm doing now. I can write on my screen. I can, do examples for you just like we're sitting at the table of learning in the back of the room. So I would encourage you all, if you have lots of questions, to go ahead and get signed up for that, and I will be there. My Discord's always open, so I can see when somebody messages me. It's just a nice way to be able to, an easier way than Zoom to be able to talk back and forth. So let's see. I don't think there's anything else on here. Let's go over to my Open Math. And let's go to home. Okay. Precalculus. You have 7-1 due tonight. Everyone has started it. No, one person has not started it, but only one in first period and fifth period. There are 4 people that haven't started, so I'm going to be calling home when class is over today and see what's going on with that. But make sure you're getting that done. Now, just because everyone started it doesn't mean everyone's finished it. Now, this is your NTI work. I count this for like NTI. I don't know what day we're on, 2 and 3 or whatever. I count this one for NTI 4 and 5. So I'm not giving you, like, you're not having to do one assignment for every NTI. I'm splitting it up. It just depends on how many days we're on it. So make sure you're getting those done. You will be having a quiz on 7172 probably Thursday or Friday. That's my guess. Probably Friday would be my guess right now, but that's coming up, so be aware of that. So while I'm here on 7-1, are there any questions I need to talk about? Okay, reaching a consensus that there are no questions. If you do have questions, make sure you ask. If you're too chicken to talk out loud on your computer or Chromebook or whatever, you can always email me. Okay, if there's no questions on that, we're going to go jump ahead and into 7-2. Let's see if I can find 7-2 on here somewhere. I thought I had it. I don't see it on here, so I'm going to have to open up 7-2. So let me get my notebook going here. It's going to take a minute. We did half of 7-2 on Friday. We'll do the other half today. Depending on how it goes, if there's no questions tomorrow, I'm going to move on to 7-3. So if you have questions, make sure that you ask them, because if you all don't ask me questions, I'm assuming that you're suddenly getting every single thing that I teach over the computer versus in front of you. And I don't really think that's probably true. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, hey, here it is. Okay, so I guess this is it. Yeah, this is it. So what we did on Friday, I answered a couple questions on 7-1, I guess. We started talking about properties of logarithms, and we condensed them. So this is all 7-2. So we're going to continue 7-2 now. And we're going to look now at expanding them. So again, this is just called expanding. So let me get that written on my screen somewhere. So when you're expanding, if you'll notice these are just one term, and we're going to take it, and we're going to change it into multiple terms. Every term can just have one piece. There can be no exponents. So if I'm looking at this one, the first thing I do when I see these, let me see if I can make my little guy show up. I can't. I look at this and I see an X and a Y. So I know I'm going to have two terms. The first thing I'm going to do in log land, I know that multiplication means addition. But I just told y'all you could not have exponents up there. So I'm going to finish rewriting this. I really wish my little guy would. Can't see where I'm writing. Let me see if I do it this way. Go away. Okay, so let me try it again. No, it didn't help at all. So I got log base 3 of x plus 2 log base 3 of y. And again, that's what logs do. Logs let you take whatever up in the power and put it to the front. So for number 1, I just had an x and a y. So I've got two terms there. You okay with that one? Number 2, we're doing the same thing. We're going to have ln of x plus, now I want you to watch how I rewrite this. I don't want anything in radical form, so I'm going to make this y to the 1/2 power instead. And again, you cannot have exponents up there, so I'm going to end up with the ln of x plus 1/2 the ln of y. When you expand, every term is just one variable, and all the powers come to the front. But if you'll notice, the 1/2 was just working on the y. I don't put it in front of the x. Just like over here, gosh, I wish my little guy would move. Just like over here, the 2 just worked on the y, it didn't work on the x. Over here, the 1/2 just works on the y, it doesn't work on the x. Now, if we come over here, and I'm going to write this one the way I usually write it. Maybe if I do it this way, it'll help. So on this one, go away. Ha. I'm going to have, see, I can't see it. Log base 2 of x. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 on the front, minus this time because it's division, 2 log base 2 of y. So check what I did right there. I put the exponents up front because it was division. I put a minus sign in between them. We okay? Any questions? Anything I need to look at on those three? Because if not, I'm just going to keep doing examples because the best thing I can do for you is examples. Okay. I'm going to come down in here to 4 and 5 if I don't have any questions. Now notice on 4, you got 3 variables. Your A and your B are multiplying, so you're going to put an addition sign between those two. And your C is division, so you're going to put a minus sign by that one. So if I look at this, I'm going to say ln, oh, damn it, this is frustrating. ln of A plus ln of B minus 2 ln of C. And when you're separating these up in log land, if you're going from condensed to expanded, you always expand the multiplication and division stuff. So if you look at this one, everything that's just happening is multiplication and division. But when you get to 5, you got a plus 2 in there. You can't separate that. Okay? You can't. You have to leave it. So if you're looking at 5, you're going to have the ln of x plus 2 minus 2 ln of x. You're never going to separate a plus or a minus, ever, ever, ever. Okay? So take a look at those. Any questions on those? These two down here, they just get a little more in depth. So I want you guys to try these two down here. Let me put it up higher. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. You all try 6 and 7. I'll leave those up there so you can see them. And if you find a question you want to ask me now, but one of the other ones, that'll be fine too.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
For the number 5, you can't put in the x plus 2 in the front of n.
No, the only time you're going to do that is when it's up in a power. like if you look at number 5, the x is squared, and that 2 is clearly a superscript. It's clearly up in the power in the exponent spot. X plus 2, that x plus 2, like all of that in parentheses, is to the first power.
Okay.
Miss Fouché,
Yes.
in number 6, the 2 before the AC, would that make them squared or would it go before log?
Okay, that's why I was kind of see what you did with that. What you're going to do with that, you're going to treat the 2 just like it's an A or a C or an X. So when you split that up, that number 6 up, you have 4 pieces: the 2, the A, the C, and the D. So the first thing you would write down is log base 2 of 2 plus log base 2 of A, and then you'd go on from there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay, got about 30 more seconds. Okay, so let's take a look at these. I'm gonna look at this one first and watch how I do this. Anything that's down, I would say down here, that doesn't have an exponent, okay, in the coefficient spot, that is where you're gonna have to split it up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces this time. So I'm gonna have log base 2 of 2 plus log base 2 of A plus log base 2 of C minus 1/2 log base 2 of D. And that's really, really big. Now, let's talk about this piece right here. We got this log base 2 of 2. What did I tell you all when the base and the argument are the same? What happens to that? I wish I could see your faces so I could pick on somebody. What happens here, if they're the same, they basically undo each other, and whatever the power is on the argument, that's your answer. So I'm going to come in here to this guy right here. I'm going to cross it out, and because that's 2 to the first power, this is so hard to write with not seeing where you're writing.
So then it'd just be log.
It would just be 1 because it's to the first power. So it'd be 1 plus log base 2 of A plus log base 2 of C minus 1/2 log. Oh gosh, what's going on? I don't know what just happened. Okay. Minus log, and I'm not going to be able to get in the same spot. Log base 2 of D. So that's really nasty looking, but that's what you got. 1 plus log base 2 of A plus log base 2 of C minus 1/2 log base 2 of D. And right here, let me write this down one more time just to keep reminding you of this. If you have log and your argument and your base, they're the same exact number. Like in our case, it was 2 and 2. Whatever the power is, that's your answer. So because we had log base 2 of 2 to the first power, that's why we put a 1 there. That's how right here we have this 1. Now let's take a look at the other one. I'm going to take a picture of it and move it. I did such a good job at writing that all over everything. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to have log, I'm going to put a 3 out front, x minus log y minus log z. And that one didn't have as many pieces to it. We only had the 3 pieces. So that's number 7.
Could it be log plus or plus log 7 or z?
You could do this to it, and I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to rewrite again. You could say 3 log x minus, if you put it in parentheses, but you would have to have it in parentheses. Because anything that's on the bottom, in my mind, it's like x cubed is on top minus y minus z. That's the way I think of it. So if you want to write it that way, because if you did it the way you said, if I condensed it, put it back to one piece, I would have the z on top instead of the bottom if I just had the plus z without parentheses around it. Other questions for me?
So if the y and z, if you're multiplying the denominator, you always minus, right?
Correct. And I look at it, you can either do it like I said, you can do it like this, and then if you distribute it, you would get what's above it. In my mind, I got 3 pieces. This is on top minus this minus that. That's how I think of it. So I just look at each piece individually. Or like I said, if it makes sense to you, because it makes sense that they're going to have an addition between them, but this whole piece is under a big minus sign. So if you want to put minus like this, that is perfectly fine too. That's a right answer also. Other questions for me on that one? Okay, we're going to come down here and see what we got going down here. Let's go ahead and stop. And we'll just stop right here. And so all we did today was expanding. And let's go over and look at the homework and see what it is that you're going to have to do for that. Okay, so we're still in 7-2. So that's just where you're practicing. And this is the stuff you should have gotten done from Friday. Okay, right here, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that. If you get something like that, regenerate the problem. Somebody, I can't remember who it was now. I meant to go back and look. They had a weird plus with a circle around it. I don't know what that meant either. You get any kind of weird looking stuff, just regenerate the problem. And if you can't, holler at me. But anything that says expand 8 through 13, that's what you need to be working on today from this assignment. And then we'll finish it out. We'll finish out 14 through 17. We'll finish that out tomorrow. Okay, so 8 through 13. So let me come back over here and type that on here so we have it. So I want you guys to do from 7.2, 8 through 13. We're going slower, a lot slower than we would have in class. Typically in class, I would have done what I did on Friday and what I did today all in one day. And the way I'm going to do tomorrow would have had its own day. I'm trying to go a little bit slower because I know y'all have a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of stuff going on. It's been really weird having to do this, learn how to do this online. I hope it's useful for you guys. And again, I'll put something out there. If you have any suggestions for me to please put it on there. But beyond that, I'm done. So same time tomorrow. If you need to watch the video, I'll have it posted pretty quick to on Google Classroom if you need it. Okay. And a heads up, what we're going to be doing, what the school's going to be doing, is they're going to be posting a matrix for all the parents to see. I think it's towards the end of this week for after spring break. So they'll be able to go on there and look and see what you're supposed to be doing each day. So that's coming up soon. So you can look at it too. It's kind of a one-stop shop to see what you do for all your classes. So anything for me? Any questions for me?
The test that's on Thursday or Friday, is that over all 7.0 or is it just 7.2?
It'll be 7.1 and 7.2. And what I'll probably do is just pick homework questions. And I'll be on my open math and I'll just pick some, maybe 3 questions from 7.1 and 3 questions from 7.2 or something like that. And so if you've done the homework, it should be just basically you're doing homework again. Anything else for me?
I had a question that had the plus sign in the circle.
Okay,
and I tried refreshing the question and it won't give me another question.
Okay, let me look at. Okay, who am I talking to?
Kaylin.
Okay, you're in 5th period. Do you care if I post your thing up here? We see it.
No.
Okay. What number was it?
It was 6.
Okay, and it was 7-1. I don't know if I can do it this way. Let me look at it on my Chromebook real quick. So it wouldn't let you, guys. If you don't have any more questions and you need to get off here and do something else, I'm done. I will be saving it, so you don't have to stick on here if you don't want to. 7.1, Kaylin's number 6. Is it 7.1 or 7.2?
7.2.
Oh crap! I got 7.1. I'll say you got 100 on 7.1. 7.2. Number 6. And it won't let you. Huh. So even if you submit it, it won't let you redo it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on for a minute. Let me try something else. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop recording. Kaylin, you stay here. Don't leave me, okay?